And the key to losing weight is not so much the IGF factors. The key is the ratios of proteins to carbohydrates. Let me give you an example. In the off season between contests, you want to put on any kind of weight you can. And it doesn't matter whether it even is fat, because you want to just get big. Because even with body fat, it makes you strong. And so you take hypergrowth, because that's exactly what you're after. But as the contest gets drawing closer, then your goal is to get rid of all excess body fat there is, all you can. And the secret to that is not IGF factors. The secret is the ratios. Ratios of proteins to carbohydrates. When bodybuilders in the mid-season, they eat anything, but as the contest gets closer and closer, they're trying to get rid of more and more body fat. And the secret to that is not watch your fats and watch your calories. The secret is your ratios. We learned this from a nutritionist by the name of Rio H. Blair. This guy knew what he was talking about. Matter of fact, one time he came over to the health club, and, well, let's see, maybe I should tell you this. Rio's job was to get movie stars ready for a new movie part. And he could get them in shape and looking great for a movie part in something like just a few months. And the problem was the problem he had with the movie stars and starlets and so forth was they weren't disciplined enough to stick on his program long enough to see how well it worked. And so he said, I got to find a group of people that are disciplined. And he found out about bodybuilders. And so it just so happened he came over to the health club right where I was training. And he came in and he asked the owner, Vince John, and says, could I talk to the guys here? And he said, yeah, go ahead. Go for it. So he came out and he said, how do you guys get ready for a physique contest? And we told him, well, we put on weight first by doing this, and then we cut our fats, and we cut our calories and so forth. And he says, that's not the way to do it. And we said, what do you know about it? I mean, we didn't say that. That was the look we had on our face. And he said, he could see he wasn't getting our attention. He said, I want you to do something. Come over to my office with me. So we went over to his office, and he had one room that was just dedicated to just photos of before and after pictures of starlets and average everyday people. And quite frankly, I looked at those before and after pictures, and I didn't believe they were the same person. And I said, those aren't even the same person, Rio. And he says, yes, they are. Look carefully. And so I looked carefully on one of them, and I could see a little mole right there on her lip. And I looked over there for after, and sure enough, that was the same person. And I said, and we said, how do you do that anyway? What'd you do? And he says, it's ratios. And we said, tell us about ratios. Now he had our attention. And so he taught us the key was ratios. And we knew ourselves instinctively that as we got closer to contest time, we lived off tuna fish. The only problem with tuna fish is that it costs you more money for breath wafers than for the tuna fish, because you can't stand the way your breath smells when you take that. But it really works. We didn't know about ratio. We just knew that tuna worked to take off body fat, and hypergrowth worked to put on size. And so we said, man, well, what are we going to do about this? And so I went to, I forgot about this. So we knew that we knew how to do it. We knew how to get rid of body fat by taking tuna, but we didn't like it. And I had a friend who made a product that we call out here in the West Stevens Gourmet Chocolate, and it tastes great. Not good for you at all, but it tastes so good you don't care. And so I went to Steven, and I said, Steve, you got to do me a favor. He said, what do you want, Larry? And I said, I want you to make me a product that has ratios like tuna, and it tastes like your Stevens Gourmet Chocolate. And he said, tuna? And I said, yeah, tuna. And he says, yeah, right. And he didn't even say yes or no. He just walked off. I thought, I don't know. A couple of 3 months later, he came over, and he plunked a big sack of something on my desk. And he says, there's your product, Larry. And I said, what is it? I'd forgotten all about what he was going to do, or what I'd asked him to do. And he said, that's your ratios. I says, I opened it up and, is this good for you? And he says, it's got your ratios and my flavor. I says, that's perfect. And so that's where this came from. And UltraPro is so good because it has ratios just like tuna, 13:1. You can't find a better ratio than tuna, and that's why tuna strips fat off your body. And so he made us a product that has ratios like tuna, but it tastes like that marvelous Stevens Gourmet Chocolate. And so everybody loves this. There's only one real problem with it, and that is you got to hide it from the kids. There won't be anything left for you, because it tastes good, and you don't even think it's good for you. But talk about taking weight off you. If you go on that product and you're on it for a week, you'll see a difference in your waistline and all the other areas where you're trying to lose body fat. It's really miraculous. So this is for losing weight, taking off body fat. Hypergrowth is putting on size, and they're both fantastic. And not only that, but this also is full of those same HGF factors I talked about on hypergrowth, but just not as much. But it still has those in there, so you get growth with it along, not as much as you do in the hypergrowth, but you still get growth, and at the same time, you're dropping body fat. Mainly, this is to drop the body fat.